Hello, welcome to the HQ. My name's Ajax, and today we're getting into a little bit more of a competitive team now. I'm going to be alternating a lot when I do the theme teams, but this one is focused specifically around GMAX Blastoise. So, a big portion of this team is going to be focusing on setting up your Blastoise. Pretty straightforward. It's not something you're not used to seeing. The thing is, though, majority of the people now are usually just going for Shell Smash plays. I am going more purely for a weakness policy set, which you self-proc with your Volt Switch, or if necessary with Giga Drain with a Moongus if you happen to be in Trick Room or something like that. It is not a speed-invested Blastoise by any means. Most of your speed control is going to come from Nuzzles, from Trick Room, and some redirection from a Moongus to help take care of your once in a while too. But the whole point of this team is to build up a Blastoise, late game sweep with Sylveon, and if you need to, you could go with a Trick Room mode, go with Marowak instead when necessary. It is also not Lightning Rod because I don't want to be in a situation for my Raichu with only electric attacks is stuck just swinging and I can't do anything with it. But also, it's a bait. I like building teams to bait and make people think of something that doesn't actually exist. So the Rockhead is good for those late game flare blitzes when they don't assume that you're actually going to do something. But this is all things you already know, and you're going to see some gameplay in a moment. If you like the team, please let me know in the comments below. But for now, we're going to get into the match, and before we get started, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to everything that is Ajax HQ. Hope you like the team, and hope you have some ideas that you'd like to tell me. Drop it in a comment for a future team you'd like to see with the Pokemon focus or with a theme focus. We'll see if we happen to do it. I would be glad to do it. But for now, we're going to get into it. Okay, so running into Lapras isn't necessarily something I enjoy with this team, but it's not, like, terrible. Like, both Blastoise and Lapras are pretty much not going to be KOing each other for the most part, and the Raichu's kind of my way to get around it. And kind of Bronzong too, but I think I'm probably going to lead with that, because looking at their team, outside of Sableye going for Fake Out on the Raichu, or Kangaskhan going for Fake Out on the Raichu, I don't really see too many ways that they stop my Raichu from being able to stop something, like Fake Out something first turn. Amoonguss for sure is not cool to look at, but yeah, I don't think I'm going for Trick Room here because, like, with them having Rhyperior and their team actually looking like it would benefit more off of Trick Room, even though they don't have a Trick Room setter. Yeah, they don't actually have a way to set up Trick Room, so I don't really need to worry about that. What's the likelihood that that Rhyperior is Lightning Rod? Probably kind of high, right? I mean, I don't know if they actually bring it against Blastoise, but yeah, and I don't think, yeah, Marowak's not really doing too much here. So I'm going to go with the Amoonguss and the Sylveon. If they don't deal with Raichu, then I'm going to, like, I'm actually doing pretty okay, because I'd like to get some Nuzzles off and annoy the hell out of them. I think residual damage is going to be pretty big here, too, with the Blastoise. And then get some Max Darknesses off and try and deal with that Lapras. So let's see. I don't really see a reason why you don't lead with Lapras here. Okay. That's pretty bold on their part, I'll say. I think their option, I think they're trying to bait me to Max Geyser. Yeah, I think they're trying to bait me to Max Cannonade the Rhyperior slot, because they're going to switch into either Amoonguss or they're going to switch into Water Absorb. So I'm not going to go at it first turn. And I'm going to Fake Out. Yeah. Now, hopefully they don't max Rockfall. Yeah, I knew it. So that's Lapras. Oh, it's Amoonguss instead. You know what? Actually, that's golden, because now I potentially KO the Kangaskhan for 1. 2, I can't, well, if they don't go for Rage Powder, then I'm gonna get a switch in, I'm gonna get a Volt Switch off into my Blastoise. But even so, if I max Hailstorm, that I'm still gonna get a nice chunk. Yeah, but that was very much expected. Like, I don't really see a reason to not go for, like, why do I go after, Like, at what point do I go after Rhyperior first turn there when you have multiple safe switch-ins to that? Okay, so I don't really see what the Kangaskhan accomplishes from this point forward. What's your last Pokemon? It's got to be Lapras, right? Like, I assume it's got to be the Lapras. Yeah, so I'm going to make an attempt to set it. Like, if I can activate my weakness balls here, I'm fairly certain I just KO. Actually, no, not fairly certain. I'll KO that Amoonguss. Yes! So they're probably going for Spore. Which is awesome because this is definitely going to KO the Amoonguss. They didn't protect. They didn't switch out. So Amoonguss goes down here. I get Blizzard up. I'm going to switch into my own Amoonguss. Because if they bring in Lapras, then I want to be able to put it to sleep. Interesting. Well, that's going to take that like a champ. That's max defense. So, pretty good spot. That Kangaskhan is going to take a tremendous amount of damage from both the Hailstorm and from the Cannonade. And Amoonguss is dead. So, doing good. Like, the whole point of this team is you're actually, like, you don't have Rain Dish. Like, you want to set up Hailstorm and you want to set up Cannonade. You want to have 2 ticks of damage going on at all times. Also, so you could go for Blizzards. So I get the feeling they're probably holding off a little bit longer on the Rhyperior, but they've got to recognize at this point now, too, that I have 2 answers to that. So outside of, like, Max Flare, yeah, that I definitely anticipated. So, in a Max Darkness U, I'm also going to Spore you. If they go after Amoonguss, they go after Amoonguss. Like, I don't see why they wouldn't here. But if Amoonguss lives, which they're probably going to double into it, then I get the Spore off. But I'm not very worried about losing the Amoonguss here. Like, sure, I could probably have protected, but, like, I'd rather possibly get a sleep up. Unless they go for Max Lightning. They could go for Max Lightning. Alright, so your Body Slam, Drain Punch, most likely Fake Out. They're gonna double into that. But cool thing here is now that I've gotten that reduced with Special Defense. Oh, that's a crit, nice. So with that plus my +2, I'm gonna be doing a whole lot to that Lapras with these Blizzards. Alright, that's not entirely unexpected. I probably should have thought about that because they don't want to get put to sleep. But now, I could just Rage Powder and Blizzard. And I still have the Sylveon, which is going to do lots of damage at the back. Yeah, I'm in a pretty good spot. Could still... You never want to be too reckless in these situations. Like, they're probably going for Resonance next. Because they kind of have to. And Rage Powder is definitely coming. Was that Life Orb? That wasn't Life Orb, right? I don't think that was Life Orb Lapras. I don't remember. I'm gonna find out in a second. Oh yeah, I can't because I damaged it. So, let's see. What do you go for here? I mean, you probably have to protect with the Rhyperior, right? And... I mean, I could switch into Raichu and keep... Yeah, actually, that might be the better option because if they anticipate... Yeah, let's do that. Because Raichu is a bit better here. Oh, wait, no. That's not who I meant to switch. Ah, crap. Blizzard. I did not want to Giga Drain. I can tell you that right now. I for sure didn't want to Giga Drain. Rhyperior goes down. That's awesome. So, I'm probably losing the Amoonguss here. Alright, so... It's not what I wanted to happen. But a good thing is, because Rhyperior, they didn't protect with it, it's going down next turn, and I can actually just swing at the Lapras with the Raichu. So, it worked out in a way I wasn't thinking about. Alright, so it's not bad. Because Sylveon and Raichu just win from this point. Especially because they boosted my damage with the electric terrain. That Volt Tackle is knocking out Lapras from here. So this should be a good game. I'm actually happy that I ended up not switching the Amoonguss because I forgot. Oh yeah, I kind of need the Raichu for late game. I could have just protected with the Amoonguss there. I was like, why would you bother to go for anything besides the GMAX Resonance there? So even with Electric Terrain and the Aurora Veil, like I ended up like surviving. But this is a pretty fast Sylveon, so I'm going to get the swing off first. And that's it. So worked out. Pretty good first game. I was an idiot at one point, but it's pretty, like, I've still not used to recording all my matches yet, and it's pretty easy for me to overthink a lot of things while I'm recording. I know that's kind of a John, but I gotta work on that a bit more. But yeah, the team works pretty straightforward. If you let me get weakness policy off, it's kind of rough dealing with Blastoise from that point forward. So, but anyways, I'm happy with it. Got the first W with the team on the ladder, so pretty happy. Alright, so the follow-up game, this is... I don't think this is pretty bad. I get the feeling that they're probably going to be going the Dusclops route. But then again, if you go Dusclops route, how do you beat me? Yeah, so, I think their main answer to beating me is Dracozolt, but Sylveon does really good there. I don't really see why you bring Colossal against this, because you don't have a safe way to stop me from killing Colossal if you lead that first turn. And anything that comes in is going to take a Resonance for no reason. I mean, I'm going to lead with this no matter what, but I mean, if they set up Trick Room, like, do I care that much? Oh, actually, you know what I could do here, too? I get the feeling that they're probably going to go Dracozolt, that's my guess. So that means they max Quake into, you know, they're going to max Quake into my Raichu slot. And that's why I have the Bronzong. Is Bronzong good here, though? Or is Amoonguss better? No, Amoonguss is better. And I'm going to bring the Sylveon for late game. Yeah, because Amoonguss could take the hit too, so. If you're wondering why I don't have Dusclops on this team, it's because I'm not a huge fan of Dusclops. Like, I like it, but I like trying different things. Pretty big fan of trying new ideas and new concepts. And I think Bronzong is still a perfectly good Trick Room setter. And I don't have any fighting moves, so having the option for Body Press is really nice. This is what I anticipated. So good thing here, even though they're going to get off Trick Room, I'm still going to get the Max Resonance off. I don't think... Oh, actually, you know what? This Dark... No, Darkness doesn't KO here, right? No, I'm going to go for my best stab. And you can't... You definitely don't switch in Colossal in this position. The best thing I could see them doing is switching into Dracozolt to maybe take that hit, but yeah, so I'm going to activate my weakness policy. I'm going to get the residual damage started. Yeah, don't switch out. So I know I'm not KOing Dusclops here, but I'm not, like, I don't really care too much in a way. And we're just going to be going for a bulk war here for the most part. Because my Blastoise isn't fully invested in speed to begin with, so. Because what would they have for Trick Room? They had Urshifu. Okay. I mean, this is going to be a whole lot of damage. And see, look at that. Even that. That's a Choice Scarf? Primarina. Things you see on the ladder. I mean, like, what? I'll tell you right now, on a scale of things that I expected to happen this turn, that was by far the one thing I did not expect. And that's still chunky. So, what? I mean, that's great because that's a huge amount of that's a huge amount of damage onto a very bulky problem. Like, you just saw how much that did. So let's see. So you broke this. I mean, you broke the sash on Raichu, but I still have the Raichu. So I get the feel. Okay, so they definitely brought Dracozolt and probably Urshifu or Amoonguss. So I go for Max Darkness now, because I think at this point it'll probably KO, and I'm gonna Spore that slot too. Because if they switch in, they didn't. Okay. So I'm still tanking this like a champ, and because they didn't do anything there, either Dusclops dies or it goes to sleep. Yeah, +2. I mean, it's possible that could have KO'd it last turn, but I wasn't willing to risk that. So this is cool. Now I stop this freaking Dazzling Gleam spam. And if they bring in Dracozolt, I'm just going to Rage Powder and Max Hailstorm that slot. So this is actually working out pretty okay. I don't think they bring in the Dracozolt because they're probably trying to save it and hold off just in case because they need it for late game. But, like, I'm in a pretty prime position here. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So, definitely going to Max Hailstorm that, because the only thing you have for a safe switch in is Urshifu, but I'm okay with that. Yeah, there's Rage Powder. My guess is they anticipate me switching into... They either anticipate me switching into Raichu, or their safety goggles, and I get destroyed here. One doesn't normally run safety goggles on Dracozolt, so I think I'm okay. And yeah, I expected this to be their Dynamax option. So as long as they're not safety goggles, I'm okay. And I get the feeling, my guess is they went for Earth Power. Or they could have gone for Max Lightning. Oh, never mind. That makes sense. I forgot that they get Airstream, but I'm Cold Berry, so Cold Berry's pretty straightforward. I'm very shocked that they went for that. Oh well, this should just knock out the Dracozolt. Because even though they're bulky, I'm +2. And I get Blizzard up, so that means I get to go one more turn worth of I get to go one more turn, and it's Life Orb, so this should just knock it out. Nice. Cool. So now if it's Urshifu, I have Raichu and Sylveon in the back. This team could steamroll pretty easy if you get it set up. Like, it's a very, very strong top lead team with a lot of bulk to it. So usually, as long as you get Blastoise going, or if you need to Trick Room and you get Marowak going, but I haven't even had a need to bring in Marowak yet, so yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Like, my positioning in this game is feeling really nice. Yeah, and there's Urshifu. That's very much expected. So, and now I just a Blizzard here and Rage Powder to keep that swinging this way. And then I'm gonna have Fake Out Hyper Voice at the end. So, unfortunately for them, they're unaware of the fact that I have Sylveon still in the back. And even if even if a Sucker Punch or something happened here, and it put big damage onto, like if it was to somehow knock out my Blastoise if I didn't go for Rage Powder, I still have Fake Out at the end, and the Hail got rid of it. But it looks like it was Choice Band, and it was a crit. But either way, I wasn't really losing that match, so not bad. Actually, I mean, of late, I've been only doing like 2-match videos. Actually, you know what? Most of my videos run really long, so we're actually gonna end it with this one. So, the next match, we'll keep it going, maybe 2 to 3, but I'm trying to consistently get a time. Actually, if you're in the comments, please tell me, what do you like? Like, do you mind the 20-minute plus videos with 3 matches to get more out of the video at the time? or do you prefer 2? That way you can have a reasonable time watching like a 15 to 20 minute video by comparison, because I know that these get very long very quick. Pokemon matches aren't short. But if you happen to have a comment on that, I'd really appreciate if you could tell me. And I hope you like this team from the rental team. And I still got a few more matches to go with it. Like I said, I'm going to play my teams usually 2 to 3 times or so. Each one of these teams is built by me. It does take a little while to put them together, but I put a lot of heart and a lot of thought into these things to try and counterbalance the meta and try new stuff. So either way, yeah, so that's the end of the video for today. I'm doing that rambling thing again. You're going to get used to that with me, I hope. Thank you so much. Please press the like button and subscribe to everything that is Ajax HQ. And leave a comment for a team you'd like to see, what you think of this team, things that you would like to do, what you'd like to see me do, the time frames, all that stuff. I'm more than willing to listen. I will gladly take a look at all of the stuff that you have to drop there for me. And yeah, so a few more team episodes with this team coming up, and I'll figure out which one I'm going to do after that. Probably a theme team. But for now, thank you so much for joining me here at Ajax HQ, and I will see you next time.